Welcome to classes A, B and Pro for Superlap Scotland, powered by Rockstar Energy Drink here at Knockhill Racing Circuit. For the 2 rounds we see at Knockhill, 1 reverse direction and 1 normal direction. And we start off with the reverse direction configuration under beautiful blue skies. So all the guys getting their teeth well and truly into Knockhill in qualifying and practice. Now they've had a reverse direction before, so they should be up to speed with this direction of the course now, and it's all about fine-tuning your car and trying to get the most out of your qualifying and practice sessions to hit that 1 lap shootout. John Stevenson was a man who unfortunately was struggling a little bit, having a spin at Clark's, but he wasn't the only person who was getting caught out by it. Stephen Jeffries also a man who was in a bit of a problem there, and that was George Rigby doing a straight line through our famous Arnold Clark chicane. So the guys are definitely pushing on as Adam Kindness gets himself in all sorts of weird shapes and sizes, somehow going over the top of Duffus dip there, and you can see just how much they're starting to push on from the first time they've done the reverse direction configuration, when everybody seemed that little bit timid and a little bit calm. Great to see David Long back after he had an engine failure at the previous round of Superlap Scotland, and a new engine has been put into that Caterham, and he is already back up to speed and well happy with how the car is performing this weekend. As we watch George Rigby going through there, nice flame spitting out the back of his Subaru. George, this year, he's moved up the class, hasn't he? He's into Class B, and this is the man he fights with, Adam Kindness. Adam and George really have got a good battle going in the B-class car. And Paul Rankin as well, also not having it all his own way this year. He's had mechanical woes and other gremlins. So as we move into the final for Superlap Scotland, first car we see is Keith Boyd in his Honda Civic. Keith, fairly new to the series with a 106 second lap for him, and George Rigby also in his class with Adam Kindness as well. Adam, winner of Class B with a 54.2 second lap around Knockhill, and that was 4 seconds faster than George Rigby. So George having a little bit of trouble, we'll say, in reverse direction, because there's never normally a 4 second gap between those guys. Stephen Jeffries and John Stevenson also out there. John Stevenson with a 57.8 second lap, but Archie Bain was the man who was in charge of Class A. Archie's lap of 56.073 seconds in his Subaru Impreza Type RA. Good enough for Archie to come away with Class A honours and another big smile on that lovely face that we're used to seeing.
Yeah, obviously happy to have the win. You take the wins however you get them. The day didn't go well for some of the other guys in Class A, which is unfortunate because it would have been a lot closer, but you take the wins when you can get them, you take your chances. Sometimes you have good days, sometimes you have bad days, so I had a good day.
And Eric Holmes getting it all wrong in towards the hairpin at Knockhill. Thankfully the gravel doing its job and catching Eric before he made contact with the lovely soft recticel. But yeah, bit of a disaster for him. David Long goes through, as does Ross Howie. Ross Howie making progress all the time with Superlap Scotland with a 56.4 second lap. Paul Rankin in his Subaru Impreza RB320, 54.4 second lap. And an off at McIntyre's getting caught by our closed circuit television there. And then we went to Andy Forrest, who was here as a guest driver. 52.5 seconds for Andy Forrest, and look at that. That is just an absolute beast of a car. But Colin Dorward was the man who took full points in the Pro class. Colin with a 53.2 second lap, searching for the low 52, possibly a 51. He thinks it's definitely in him, but you can see Dorward is always absolutely on the attack in this car.
Yeah, managed to get a result, and glad that there's other competition out this time, and yeah, I'd like to thank all my sponsors that have helped me along the way. I think full power on this thing on over the 1 lap. I would like to get a 51. I think it's there. It's just, it's me entirely. I mean, the car, all right, there's not much aero on it, but round here I don't know if that particularly matters, but I reckon that there is definitely that in the car, so I just need to tidy it up and hope for the best. So
good result for Colin Dorward. He'll be absolutely over the moon with that. Almost maximum points this year. He's just 1 point away from having a maximum in every round. As we move into Sunday, normal direction here at Knockhill, and look at the weather, look at the contrast. From blue skies, sunshine yesterday, we come to a pretty slippery Knockhill as the Seagull even makes a bid for freedom there. Stephen Jeffries comes through McIntyre's pretty much in a beautiful lock to lock drift, but he wasn't the only one, unfortunately running out of lock. And I'm not going to say talent, do not worry, at the hairpin there, Archie Bain getting caught out. And then we've got George Rigby, who's all action, but even Andy Forrest was getting caught out with just how slippery Knockhill was for their qualifying session. Colin Dorward, however, as ever, looking pretty good, pretty handy, and keeping that car pretty much in a straight line, and that's how you go fast. David Long again making progress, and yeah, another kind of tank slapper for Stephen Jeffries in his Mitsubishi Evo. But he wasn't the only man who was in trouble. Adam Kindness as well, finding the limits of the track as much as he could. But Adam always goes well in the wet. However, yeah, he managed to keep that one and save his blushes there. Paul Rankin hanging it out as he come through Clark Corner, and then hanging it out as he come at the hairpin as well. So these tricky conditions really have made the lap times quite far away from what we'd normally expect. Andy Forrest's fastest lap in qualifying was a 56.7 second lap. Dorward managed a 56.9 second lap. And Adam Kindness also, he was pushing Paul Rankin. Paul Rankin was 57.0 and Adam Kindness was a 58.1. As we come towards the final, we see once again the Honda Civic of Keith Boyd on track in the B-Class car, and George Rigby and Adam Kindness lock horns once again. Now today, a lot closer. Rigby though, same position for George, he comes away in second place, but only 0.3 of a second was he behind Adam Kindness in the number 55 Subaru Impreza STI Type R. A minute 0.2 for Adam and a minute 0.5 for George. Adam comes away with Class B honours, and I have to say this, Adam looked pretty racy and very good throughout the course of his lap. Weather conditions deteriorated for the actual final, they were drier in qualifying, but Adam made that work for his Subaru. He got the best from it and put together a cracking lap to take Class B honours.
It's very close again in the dry yesterday and in the wet today.
Yeah, it's good to be pushed, and George is a good driver, wet and dry, reverse and normal direction, so he pushes you, which is good. So I had to actually work for it today.
Yeah, no, I could see that. And how was your lap? Talk us through it in the wet conditions.
Same as always in the wet. You don't really know how much grip you've got until you find out that there's more. By that point, you're going too slow. So halfway around the lap, I was thinking I could probably go faster, but then can you really go faster? So it was probably a bit conservative at places and probably a bit too pushing too much in some places, but overall it was just enough, so happy enough.
Yeah. On to Class A now, and we see Archie Bain starting off. Archie with his spin at the hairpin in the morning, just trying to get the confidence level back up for the final. He done a minute 0.4, 104.8 I should say for Archie Bain. And John Stevenson, he was a 103.4. John Stevenson really hooked up his normal direction. But it was Stephen Jeffries in his brand new Mitsubishi Evo. He was delighted with his lap time. He did a 103.06 second lap around Knockhill, and he's really got on form with this car. After we saw him having a few moments in qualifying at certain corners in the circuit, he really got the car hooked up for the final in the wetter conditions. Good apex through hairpin there, bit of understeer and bit of oversteer, and up he went to take Class A honours. Delighted.
New car was really good. Had a few issues yesterday, but yeah, it's pretty exciting to drive, especially in the wet. Yeah, really enjoyed it.
Did it catch you at any point?
A couple of times it tried to bite us. Aye. And the final at the hairpin, certainly. You know, we were probably using the side window.
So we go on to the Pro Class now with David Long starting that car, number 7. He's Caterham R400, and David was actually caught up with Ross Howie on track. These two cars very close together, and that could have let one of them have a run-off. David Long coming home in 5th, Ross Howie coming home in 4th. Paul Rankin was 3rd with a 59.1 second lap. First man to go sub-minute, and then the next man went sub-minute as well. That was Andy Forrest. He done a 58.9 second lap. But then the big question was, could anybody go faster? And the answer was very quickly, yes. Colin Dorward, 57.741, took him to the top of the Pro Class standings in his Mitsubishi Evo 5, and Dorward looked absolutely awesome. There was a lot of thought that Andy Forrest would actually take the win with his more aerodynamic on the car, bit more ground effects, making it work in the wet, but Dorward drove an absolute blinder. Getting the car through the hairpin and powering up towards the line, he took the Pro Class honours.
I know what you mean. We can go anywhere, even if there's nothing there. I don't really care. Even if I wouldn't, I trust you.